Hello everyone, we're at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum in Chattanooga. It's my first time to ever be here, so we're going to have a look and ride one of the trains here. They're running the diesels today, so we'll see what they're running up this way. Cool caboose right there. Oh yeah, L&N caboose. And we're on a railroad crossing here. It's got a whole bunch of tracks. Look at that train station. That's nice looking. I remember back when they looked like that. Back in 1983, I lived in Lexington with the view of the railroad. I saw a lot of locomotives with that kind of paint scheme back then when they were still changing over. All right, let's have a look up here, see what we can do.
We are proceeding east to the top of our.
All right, so we got to turn the train around on the Y. And then head out.
WYE, triangular set of tracks that railroads use to turn complete trains.
I got a view of the Norfolk Southern main line here.
Well, Zach has gone to the back of the train. He is at the end of our train. He is going to become the eyes for the engineer. Let's hear his conversation here. Alright, what Zach told him is that he is on point to protect the shove. He's got 2 coaches of clearance, meaning he's got about 160 foot of clear rail that he can see, both if you are traveling in the passenger coaches.
There's where we got our tickets right over there. We're on the
As we
Y.
back around the east leg of our Y, to the left window you can see the west leg. We will be proceeding up the
That's the west leg of the Y. Right there. It's the west leg. Cool, look at that locomotive. Wow.
The Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railway. Also the ACL, the Atlantic Coastline. The Southern Railway, just to name a few of the fallen flag railroads.
Live action.
Schoolyard. So after our journey today, locomotive around for the return trip. After the
That is a cool looking locomotive.
demonstration, we will have a brief tour in our back shops.
So we're on the west leg of the Y now, headed towards East Chattanooga. About a 15 to 20 minute ride in each direction.
If you look to the left, you'll see Southern 3170. This locomotive is in a livery that is known as the Southern Tuxedo livery. Livery being the paint design for railway equipment. We'll talk about that at the TurnTable. Just remember that livery that you see here, black and white. We call it the tuxedo because the white cummerbund is wrapped around the locomotive. Now we are traveling on rail line that was originally built in 1859 by the East Tennessee and Georgia Railway.
Look at that, that's cool. Must be the first one of that class.
The ET&G
5000.
would merge with a number of other railroads.
Cool, look at all this. Man, let's see a train go over that.
Right now would have risen approximately 70 feet to flood out the railroad.
That's cool.
That's South Chickamauga Creek, about 62 feet below us. He was also an investor in the Western and Atlantic Railway. So he finally convinced Tennessee to allow Georgia to build those tracks.
Steam locomotive.
Now those tracks are still owned by the state of Georgia today. They are leased out to CSX Transportation, the second Class 1 railroad that frequents Chattanooga. CSX came about by the merging of the Chessie system with the Seaboard system back in 1980. Now this industry you see to the right is Allied Metals. Now that equipment that you see on their siding is some of our extra equipment that we do not have room for at the Grand Junction display yard or at the East Chattanooga yard. Now Allied Metals is one of our freight customers. We do freight service as well as passenger service. Was only off center.
Hey, we're gonna go through a tunnel. It's 986 feet long.
Extremely
It's coming up.
engineered in the middle 1800s.
I don't know if I'll be able to see it.
And the reason they only used pick and shovels is because dynamite was not invented until
No, the tunnel,
1867.
can't see it on the camera.
They did have access to black powder, but the topography of Missionary Ridge
Tunnel coming up.
was pretty damp inside. Black powder would have had trouble igniting. Plus, I wouldn't want to be the person putting the match to a pile of black powder in the middle of a ridge. Just doesn't sound interesting enough to me.
Too bright for the camera over on that side.
Now we have heard the horn from Tag 80 announcing our approach to the ridge. If you have your cell phones with
Missionary
you, which
Ridge
I imagine
Tunnel.
about 99% of you have a cell phone, put the flashlight app on and turn and hold it up to the window as we pass through the tunnel. That way you'll be able to see just how close we are to the walls of the tunnel. In some places, the open air freight section of Combine 390, please keep all arms, hands, legs, and feet inside the train as we go through the tunnel due to the closed clearance. And if you happen to be afraid of the dark, well, it's too late. You just have to close your eyes.
Oh, it's dark.
Here we go, folks. 986 feet of Tennessee.
Yes, it's
Tunnel.
dark. Pretty good tunnel. Well, I didn't have my light turned on. I turned it off. It's too on. Here we come to the yard and shop area. They work on the trains. Track dining car. Check out that locomotive.
And here we are approaching East Chattanooga Depot. Now East Chattanooga is an active rail yard. Equipment may move without notice, so we do have safety as a priority. Passenger safety is first on our list while here in East Chattanooga. So we do have a few safety rules to follow while we are on property here at the yard. First, we need you to stay together as a group. As this is also a guided tour, we wouldn't want you to miss out on anything. Secondly, please stay on the walkways. Do not wander off the walkways onto tracks, ballast, or gravel areas. And also, please do not climb on any equipment. So when you do pull up to the depot, we will exit the train, take a left and head down to the turntable for the demonstration. After that, we will take a brief tour in the back shop area. Please wait for the train to come to a stop. And the conductor announces it's safe
Alright, we're going to get to
exit
see
the
a
train.
turntable. That's going to be really cool.
The depot should be open with drinks and snacks. and a restroom facility. There is also a restroom facility between the turntable and the back shops. So please wait for the conductor to announce it's safe to exit the train. And we will take a left and head down to the turntable.
Hey, there's a steam engine right there. Look at that. 4501. Nice. There's 4501. Sweet. We'll get some better shots of that. Okay, here's the turntable. We get to watch the locomotive turn around, and they're building some tracks over here coming off of it. Look at that, they're doing it right now as we speak. All right, here comes the locomotive, gonna turn. We'll go for a spin.
Tag 80 weighs in at 125 tons. So that's going to put 200 tons basically turning in front of you today. Now as we bring Tag 80 on the table, the balancing act takes place right here. Underneath this track here in the middle is a 6-foot diameter bearing. When Tag 80 comes across, he's going to basically balance on the table. This end of the track is raised up at this point, especially when he comes on at that end. He's going to tip it over a little bit towards his direction. And as he creeps across, once he creeps across that 6-foot diameter bearing, this end's going to drop down. Once that end drops, he stops because he knows he's lined up. Every once in a while, they'll nail it, and you'll actually see it tipping back and forth and teetering. Now, back in the day, this was known as an Armstrong table. Break that word down. Armstrong. When they were using steam engines and tenders, they'd get them up here balanced, and men would come out utilizing poles at the end of the railings to turn it manually. Today we got a 25 horsepower motor that we utilize, where our conductor Zach, he just pushes a button and it turns the table. Tag 80 is one of our newer diesel electric locomotives. You look underneath the cab window here, we got John A. Chambliss, number 80. Well, who is John? John was the vice president of the TAG. And in 1968, when General Motors delivered the locomotive, it was on his 80th birthday. So he got his name and birthday on the locomotive. Now this is, I continue to say, it's a diesel electric. In this long hood behind the cab is a 2,000 horsepower, 16-cylinder diesel engine, called a prime mover, and it doesn't move anything. It operates two pieces of equipment, a generator to create the 600 volts for the traction motor. It's on each axle. So we have 2 axles in the front, 2 in the back, 4 traction motors that turn the axles. Second piece of equipment is the air compressor for the brake systems. Air is applied, it keeps the brakes off. When the air is removed, the brakes come on. Why is that? Because in a derailment, if the locomotive leaves the consist, the brakes need to come on to stop the train. So that's the reason for the reversal. Now the TAG, what you're seeing today in this blue livery, the TAG was absorbed into the Southern Railway. When they got into the Southern Railway, they received a tuxedo livery. That's what I pointed out on our way over. A black one with a white cummerbund around it. Southern became part of Norfolk Southern. They kept the black, lost the cummerbund, and received a thoroughbred horse head on the side. Now, when the Norfolk Southern was finished using this locomotive, they turned around and put it up for auction. And the Chambliss family purchased the locomotive back. Then they turned around and donated it to us here at the museum. We stripped it down to bare metal and repainted it back to its original livery. This is what it looked like day one in 1968. That's what we do here. And we're going to take a walk up to the pack shop area and show you a little bit more. Now when we're heading over, we're going to cross over 8 tracks. Please watch your step. After the second set of tracks is a restroom facility on the right. Please stay on the marked walkways and please do not climb on any equipment.
Wow, was that cool or what? That was live action, son. That was pretty cool. I think the last time I filmed the turntable in use, I was in Wyoming. So, you gotta see that video. I was in Evanston, Wyoming when I filmed one. Yeah, they'll hook on the other end of the train now, and we'll go back the way that we came. So we're gonna walk over here to the shops and have a look. There's 4501, up close. $13,000 gallons. That's how much water it'll hold in the tender. I'd like to get that one moving, that'd be cool. This is a big place, look at that. A lot of work goes on in here. Looks like there's a steam locomotive back there too. See if I can get a better shot of that.
We happen to have the part that we don't have in one of the sets.
Oh, it's the 630. I have ridden behind that locomotive. I've ridden that one from Lexington, Kentucky to just inside Tennessee, Oneida, I believe is the name of the city, and back. I got some videos of that. I rode that when I first started my channel, so the videos aren't very good of it. Cool. Haven't seen that locomotive in a long time.
Jack Rouse, for you copy? Go ahead. Is that you coming up the switch? Yes, me. Let me know where I'm moving on. I will.
Lexington, Kentucky, May 31st. Hey, check out the pit down here. They can work on the underside of the rail cars. There's a pit right there.
There's lots of trains to ride, but we gotta have what they're doing, helping us keep American railroad history on the rail. The country's lost enough history in the last few years. We don't want to lose American railroad history.
Not sure how deep that pit is. Looks pretty deep though. Looks like an RS1 right there. I got a couple RS3s on my railroad layout that I used to run all the time. Love those locomotives. I think it's Alco. Look at that little locomotive. Kind of looks like that one from Dups that I filmed. See my Dups video. I show it pulling a couple flat cars, heavy duty flat cars. There's so much stuff here to look at. Don't know where to start. I like that locomotive, that's cool.